Hi, hello, welcome to a new video. And in this video I will mention the psychology of pandemics. It's sort of late, but I just want to mention this. This article seems to be cited by 1,300 people, around 1,300 people. It's an amazing number, and uh, and so because recently there are many people interested in the studies, they need to cite it quickly, so that's why those articles help. This article reviews the current state of knowledge and promising new directions concerning the psychology of pandemics. Pandemics are disease outbreaks that spread globally. Historically, psychological factors have been neglected by researchers and health authorities despite evidence that pandemics are to a large extent psychological phenomena whereby beliefs and behaviors influence the spreading versus containment of infection. Psychological factors are important in determining adherence to pandemic mitigation methods, like adherence to social distancing, pandemics-related social disruption, panic buying, racism, anti-lockdown protests. So these are the things that we can actually guess. So they assume that, but the problem here is that the governments assume that they they try to take temporary precautions by limiting people, not by improving the expenses. Like for example, like by building new hospitals or spending more money, they avoid it. Instead, they're telling people stay at home or do something like, yeah, that's indeed correct, but even in the countries like in the US, we see that like they ask people to diminish their social disruption, and they should adhere social distancing, and also other problems, pandemic-related distress and related problems, prolonged grief disorder. The psychology of pandemics has emerged as an important field of research and practice during the coronavirus 19 pandemic. As a scholarly discipline, the psychology of pandemics is fragmented and diverse, encompassing various psychological subspecialties and allied disciplines, but is vital for shaping clinical practice and public health guidelines for COVID-19 and future pandemics. I think the most important thing is how to convince people to diminish their activities because they're not really convinced that they should do that. For example, and it should be they should be volunteer for that. Like especially once you say you have to, and then it is against human nature. Like so why they have to do that? They don't. If they don't worry about their health, they should be able to walk as much as they want, as much as or go outside or go somewhere. And and then we both know that the governments do not only anxious about the people who die, they are anxious about their economy, more importantly. Because once the virus spread, it destroys the economy. So they're afraid it will cause like bigger economic problems and it will create such sense of like poor country or like country which cannot which cannot control the pandemics. This is indeed very important. Like also, for example, we see that so there was a sense of like European countries are so strong, but after the epidemic, some European countries were quite failed, and their health system was just failed, and then it caused great problems, and a lot of people unfortunately died. But in fact, the governments normally damage like many people without indirect ways. For example, by meaning indirect ways, like for example, pollution due to production. So it reduced their lifetime too. So what it does, it is not that clear. The destruction is not that clear. So people do not be against it. So anyway, in conclusion, what I believe is they should for if there is a like other epidemic, and they should be prepared for it, and not like only controlling people strictly and spreading fear among the citizens, because spreading fear among citizens can cause more severe damage than COVID does itself. It can also ruin your economy, partially ruin your economy too. Yeah, so anyway, but better take precautions and adhere those rules like wearing mask. It's easy at least. And anyway, that's all I want to say. And be careful about the pandemic-related distress, because once this rules are very um, rules are just rules are for a lot of people, like millions of people, then it causes like some fear, and then everyone is actually pressured, like it reduces their quality of life. And like if the disease spreads itself, it will not really diminish their quality of life. Well, like after pressuring them, it is actually for sure they will all feel. So that's why they should just they should just regulate it well to minimize the side effects. Anyway, that's all I want to say, and protect yourself, and see you. Bye bye.